we might see a new champion. We could get a new women's champion tonight. The reason why I say that is because it's Kendal taking on Carmen, and we could be seeing a new women's champion. I do have a little bit of a breakdown, but not a massive breakdown. I know that Robert Stone has said that tonight is going to be his last night on the show because, of course, he is interim GM now of NXT. So this is going to be his last night doing commentary. No word as to who his replacement is going to be, but I'm sure Pete Rosenberg is going to continue. Be very interesting, actually, to see who they bring in. My guess is probably Blake Howard's, because Blake Howard's is kind of this part-time presenter. He's someone that's been on my radar for a little while, because when I went to the NXT house show, and I went to the NXT house show in 2024, the person that was doing like the hosting duty was Blake Howard's, and he wasn't really on my radar before then. That was like, I think, the first time I'd seen him, but we see him do backstage interviews. I think he's even stepped in and helped out with Evolve commentary on the occasional week. So my guess is that it might be Blake Howard going forwards. Not that it really matters, but that's who I'm expecting. So Brady, thank you to Brady for tagging me in the info for what we've got tonight. Robert Stone putting out this message. He said, after the chaos that went down on last night's NXT, it's clear that I need to put my full focus into being GM. With that being said, tonight is going to be my final night analysing the action on Evolve. What an incredible first year it has been for this show. Make sure you continue watching the next generation of talent to be born every week on Tubi. Trust me, I'll be watching too. So that's what he had to say. We've got 3 matches, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's show because I'm into all 3 of the matches. We've got Swipe Right, who I don't think are going by that name now, but the graphic on Evolve does say Swipe Right. So Swipe Right taking on Eli Knight, who's an NXT star, and Mike Cunningham. So proper tag match featuring Swipe Right should be really fun. Then our main event is going to be for the Women's Championship. We got Kendal Gray taking on Carmen Petrovich. So really looking forward to that. Kendal Gray, Carmen Petrovich. We could get a new champ here. Carmen Petrovich is absolutely good enough to be the top champion in Evolve. I don't know that Kendal Gray needs to keep carrying this title. She is now fully on NXT. So I would not be shocked if Carmen gets the victory tonight. I think she's got a chance, right? I think she's got a good chance. So Kendal against Carmen. And then my boy, It's Gall. It's Gall in action. It's Gall is going to be taking on Aaron Rourke. So I actually really like this lineup. A Swipe Right tag match, an It's Gall match, and then a really interesting main event where the women's title is on the line in a match where I think we could see a new champion. So those are the 3 matches we've got tonight. This is a show that I am genuinely looking forward to. I think this is a week that feels like it's aimed at me. This is like a bit of a dream week. A Kendal Gray match, a Swipe Right match, and an It's Gall match. I couldn't have booked it better myself, to be honest, so I am very excited. Who will leave as Evolve Women's Champion? Let's see what you lot have got to say. Is it going to be Kendal? Is it going to be Carmen? Kendal or Carmen? Who leaves as Evolve Women's Champion? Let's get the poll up and then we'll jump into the chats. There we go. Poll is in. Okay. Hello to everyone as well, by the way. Let's move this over here. No, let's move that over there so that we've got X open, just in case anything drops that we need to know about. Okay, lovely. Hasib, hello. Hope you're doing well. Daze, hope you're well, and you. Have you been watching any of the T20 World Cup? It's been a fun day of cricket. Just bits, to be honest. So I did watch England the other day when they managed to get past Nepal by 4 runs. I saw a bit of today's game, but I didn't get a chance to watch the end because it started at 1:30 and I needed to get to bed so that I could get up. We did a member stream just now. We're here doing this. So I missed the end, but obviously when I woke up, I saw England had lost, which I don't even know if that's a surprise, to be honest. England cricket team's in a horrible place at the moment. Our Ashes performance was atrocious, and we did well against Sri Lanka, in all fairness. So, you know, I don't know. I didn't go into today with loads of confidence, but I don't know. Hopefully we can win in the next rest of the games. West Indies was always going to be the hardest. Once you get to the knockout stage, could be anyone's, couldn't it? Once you get to that knockout stage, but I think India have got to be absolute firm favourites for this. Everyone was picking India before, and I'd imagine India are the team to beat. I can't say I've really seen anything to change my mind on that. So, yeah, cricket, World Cup's on at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on it, really, to be honest, but don't have high hopes for England. Millennial said, what do we think about Evolve having the best and worst match of all time last week as per polls? How great can this show get, said Millennial. To be honest, we don't really record Evolve scores, so it doesn't really matter. I don't actually record them anywhere. It's more just to get a snapshot as to what people are thinking. Evolve is so far down the pecking order that and so few people join us that if someone does want to influence the poll for whatever reason, if they did want to, they can do that when it comes to Evolve. I think it's a lot harder to do it when it comes to Raw and SmackDown and NXT. So, yeah, and certainly PLEs. So I'm quite happy that the feedbacks that we get on those are accurate. Obviously, the feedbacks we were getting last week were silly. But, yeah, when you have so few people kind of engaging in a show like Evolve, it does kind of open it up to a bit more abuse when it comes to the poll. But to be honest, I don't record it anywhere. It's just, you know, here for us to just get an idea of what people thought. So, yeah, doesn't matter. Not bothered. To be honest, I'd forgot about it. Foxy Light said, I think Kendal will win and leave the belt in the ring, just like Oba, said Foxy Light. Jellyhead said, WWE product has gone really bad lately. What happens to it? The Masked Man thing is lackluster and it's getting redone all the time, says Jellyhead. So Jellyhead not enjoying things at the moment. Millennial said, it's Gall versus Aaron Rourke. Could be the worst match of all time. Have you seen my post on Z about Brock Lesnar? Is that the fact that he's got a match coming up? I know they did announce that Brock has got an appearance. If it was that, Brock is going to be on Raw on February 23rd. So not this week, but the week after. Like always, this is a smaller, more intimate stream, said William. We are less critical of comments. YouTube allows a bit more leeway. Please don't spam or argue, says William. William, I hope you're doing well, buds. Word Life Cena fan said Daze Zarya could interfere next week, and either Soul still gets the title and the feud starts, or JC retains, and then it's a triple threat. So Soul could get the title. There's lots of different ways. I mean, for me personally, I am just really over Soul Zarya. When that split happens, it's not going to be a shock, and I'm not going to care. I'm just so beyond wanting them. They're just so unlikable. I really don't like them. I like them individually. I like Soul. She's a brilliant talent. She's going to be a big future star. No problems whatsoever. I like Zarya when she's doing her entrance and it feels really cool. It gets ruined by Soul's surfer music, right? And she comes out, whatever. Like, you can see with Zarya that there's going to be some aura when her entrance comes out, you know? I mean, it's one of those where you've got these two great stars, you put them together, and what you end up with is something less than. They're not helping each other, making each other better. They're actually making each other worse, in that I just I don't want to see them on my screen together. I don't like them together. I find them both deeply unlikable when they are together. They're just bickering and arguing, and they're out for themselves. They both come across as very selfish. It doesn't paint either of them in a great light. It is honestly horrific booking. It is horrific. This needs to be studied as one of the worst booked stories in like recent NXT history. I mean, I don't want to go OTT and say ever, but I will be quite happy to say this is one of the worst NXT stories that has been booked, certainly since the pandemic. And I might even go ever, because you've got two great stars, and my feelings for both of them have not diminished. I don't look at Soul as being any less amazing than she is, or I don't look at Zarya as still being fantastic potential. But oh my God, whenever they're on screen, I don't want to watch. All they do is argue and try to, fight for their own kind of benefits. I mean, they are just they're horrible, friends. They are horrible. To be honest, the story was doing okay. Things were good. People were into it, and it just absolutely outstayed its welcome. They should have split a long time ago. This is not something that's, started off bad, but it was an odd couple. People were into it. Zaruka had support, but should have ended a long, long time ago. So I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I don't know if the plan is that Soul becomes champ or Soul doesn't become champ. Clearly, there's going to be a split. And it feels like it has to be when Soul goes for that championship. But, gods, they have done a fantastic job of making me just not care. I'm very down on it. And I don't think I'm alone. I mean, I don't like being moody and all that stuff. I don't think I'm alone. It's deeply frustrating when you've got two talents of their caliber, two women there that are so good at what they do. I mean, I want to be right behind Sol Ruka, and I am. And when she goes to the main roster, I'm guessing she'll go on her own. I'll be right behind her. And I want to be right behind Zarya, because, she, entrance-wise, presentation is really good. I think that they need to make her look more dominant in ring. Quite often she'll go in the ring and it'll be a bit too back and forth, when actually she should be like shoulder barging people, doing the monster spots. Those kind of big power things where she's like, and you're like, yeah, treat her like the female Brock, which is a lazy comparison, but yeah, she's got that sort of aura when the music hits. I mean, presentation-wise, it's so good. So I'll be right there with both of them. This is, as I said, nothing to do with them as individuals, but just together. No. Do we think that Seth is going to come back, hopefully with a different song, said Dean. I don't know if they'll change the song, because that song's really over and people really like it. For me personally, I'm not a fan. I do find that the aura farming also goes a bit OTT. I mean, WWE are doing really what WWE should do, which is it's so hard to find something that works. It's so hard to find something that connects with an audience that when you do find it, can't really blame them for milking it as much as possible. They're not alone. I mean, look at Jericho over in AEW with Judas, And I think, it's one of those where you can spend a career looking for something that's going to connect with the audience and not find it. Many, many wrestlers have been fine on the microphone, fine in the ring, but they just don't have that connection with the audience. And if you can find something that does connect, you can understand, like, grabbing hold of it. It's a bit like mining for gold. You can go out day after day and not find anything. But when you do find something, like, that's, you're going to treasure it. It's going to be a massive deal. You don't know when you're going to find another piece again. And it's a bit like that, really, in wrestling. In that, you can have these skills And you can have okay matches. You can even have really good matches. You can like look at what Ricochet can do. Ricochet's moveset is very impressive. And promo-wise, you know, you can do an okay job. I think Ricochet probably let himself down a little bit in that regard. But to be honest, I think the presentation of Ricochet was awful. You know, I mean, like, his music was not really that special. The graphics weren't special. What he was wearing was not that special. When Ricochet was with us, I was desperate for him to be a bit more like Prince Puma, which was his character from Lucha Underground. That had a little bit more of substance to it. He wore a mask, and it kind of had a bit more of a background, a bit more of a character. And I remember watching Prince Puma, actually. And I remember thinking, how have WWE not managed to get this guy? How is this person in Lucha Underground and then not in WWE? I was so amazed by what I was seeing. I didn't know who Ricochet was at that point. And obviously I'd find out about him because he would end up going, I think, New Japan. And I'd know him then, find out that he was the same guy that had been Prince Puma. And he was massively on my radar then because I'd loved Prince Puma, really enjoyed what I'd seen. And then I saw him in New Japan. And then eventually he did find his way to WWE. And I had no doubt he was going to be a massive success. I mean, his moveset is like Javon Evans. I mean, what can't Ricochet do? So impressive. And it didn't land, it didn't connect. We couldn't find that connection with the audience. We couldn't get it so he came out, everyone went crazy. We just couldn't find that. So I think that if you've got something like that song that Seth has got that people love singing, and you know he can sort of strut his way down as people are singing it and just revel in that moment, that's a hard thing to throw away, isn't it? For me personally, I'm over it. I was over Judas quite quickly. I'm over this. I was over yeeting. If you watch on a regular basis, you get over it quite quickly. But I suppose the truth is with wrestling, there's a lot of people that aren't watching as regular as what we watch. So for them, they don't get over it very quickly because they're not watching it all the time. And there's people tuning in for the first time all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. When it comes to like him moving away from that, it would be big. It would be brave. I would definitely be down for it. I don't know if they will, though. I don't know if they will. I don't know where the words start and where they end. I'm just going to go me come on. I've got a song. Sing it using Dancing Queen. I'm Seth Rollins, power of the music, power in the ring. I have a dirty mind and dirty ears, but I'm ready to wrestle and put boots to faces. I have a dirty mind and dirty ears. Well, why not? Listen, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that over listening to that song again. Right, boom. Judas is better than most of the WWE themes, said TJF. I mean, I'll say it's a proper song because it's a Fozzy song. And I don't remember hating it the first time I heard it, but I don't know if it's just not a song that's for me, or I never remember hating it at first. But I can't stand it now. I've definitely overheard it. And I don't remember hating it when I first heard it. So it probably is just the amount that I heard it. It was like every week Jericho would come out. Every week that song would play. And, you know, we watched AEW for quite a while. We watched from when it began at the end of 2019 all the way through to the end of 2023. So we watched like 4 years worth of AEW 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So we watched 4 years of AEW. And Jericho was in, obviously, right from the very beginning. And I don't know if he used that song from the beginning, but we heard a lot of it. Which is why if he came to WWE, for me personally, I would not be looking for him to use Judas. I'd be looking for him to use Break the Walls Down. But he probably would use Judas because obviously it's just a great way of promoting Fozzy, isn't it? And it's a song, got to say, it's a song people enjoy. Defcon said, I'm figure hunting right now. Wish me luck. Well, Defcon, send me pictures of what you find, but I'll chuck it in the community folder. I mentioned that the other day. The community folder is still a thing, but, since it kind of got removed from Unseen, it doesn't really get as many people sending things through anymore. So, I still want to do it. I'm still here for it. I think at the moment it's definitely got enough for a video now, but we're looking for those kind of quality submissions that I think people are really going to be interested in. Bottom line is there's just no point doing a video unless it has a purpose, unless it's got like good quality stuff in it. I don't want to do a video for video's sake. It should be whenever we put a video out, people know that there's some sort of value to it. So yeah, there's probably enough quantity wise. I haven't looked at it actually because it's got a couple of weeks worth of stuff in there. I think there is some okay bits and bobs in there, but yeah, if you want to send anything through, I'm ready to do a community video. So I'll take any pictures from like shops or whatever if anyone goes toy hunting. Daze, you did probably overplay it. It's like the top 40 in most shops. Yeah, you do hear a lot of those songs, don't you, on the radio and whatever. Daze, Monday Night Raw and NXT and Evolution and Friday Night SmackDown, says Brian. Brian, I hope you're well. Daze, if you had to pick one superstar from AEW free of price, who would we pick? Free of price. Well, I don't know what do we mean, Tony? Do we mean like if I could just take someone from AEW? I'd probably take MJF. If I didn't take MJF, because he's still young, he's a brilliant talker. There's a lot I think you can do with him. So I'd probably take him. If not him, I'd be interested in Tony Storm. Those are the two that kind of come to mind. I think, to be honest, I don't watch, do I? So some people might be like, what are you on about? You're telling me you wouldn't take Kyle Fletcher? I'm telling you, I don't watch Kyle Fletcher. That's what I'm telling you. I don't watch AEW, so I don't know. There could be better than that now. But for me, MJF for the guys, Tony Storm for the women. I botched it, said Glockness. I should have said I don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure it's not PG. Glockness, hope you're well. Any chance we get the network back, said Shining Wizards. I wouldn't say never, but pretty close to it. It was a dream of Vince's to have his own network, and Vince has gone now. It's not a dream of TKO's to have their own network. TKO's dream is to sell Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, the library, PLE, all of that stuff. Their dream is to just make as much money as they possibly can from all of that content, and putting it onto a network and charging people. They obviously have got a good idea as to how much money that generates. And it's quite clear, because the network went away, that in the current climate, it makes more money actually having it go to Netflix and having it go to ESPN and having it go to YouTube and having it go to CW Network, USA Network, blah, 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 blah. They make more money doing what they're doing now than when they had the network, right? And don't forget, there's a big cost to having your own network, because you've got to have all the servers and you've got to have like maintenance and upkeep and all of that stuff, right? So having your own network is a real big ask. It's a big challenge. And honestly, we just didn't know how good we had it. I mean, everything is just sort of spread out now. Before, it was all in one place, and we just didn't realize how good we had it. I really look back with a lot of regret, actually, that I wasn't taking advantage of it even more than I did. And I watched it quite a lot. I mean, I certainly didn't just have it and let it sit there. I went back and watched a lot of old shows, but now that a lot of them are like gone, a lot of those old primetime wrestlings, which I don't even know where they are. I don't think they're anywhere now. A lot of the old classic content. I mean, thankfully, things are getting slowly uploaded onto WWE Vault, but it's going to take so long for everything to be uploaded that, I don't know, it might take 15 years to get back where I was before. Who knows? I have no idea. Lots of those kind of Coliseum home video releases and old superstar episodes and primetime wrestling. And God, I mean, we don't even have every year of Raw and SmackDown. We don't even have that. There's whole years missing of like the big key shows that we've got right now. So yeah, it's hard to see us go back. The only way I think we would go back is if TV no longer was offering us big money, and financially the belief was that it would make more sense to restart the network. That's the only way I could ever see us going back, and we are so far away from that it's hard to see that ever happening, honestly, because there will always be streaming platforms. I mean, even if TV channels all shut down, there's going to be streaming platforms. There will always be a desire for films and TV shows, and you're going to have to go somewhere to watch that. So there is always going to have to be a platform, a Netflix, a Disney Plus, a HBO Max, whatever it might be. I can't guarantee TV channels are going to be here in 30, 40 years. Who knows? But there's going to have to be some sort of place that you go to watch these shows. There's going to be demand for new shows and new films. So Amazon Prime and all of those kind of places. So, I mean, I can't see as to why they would not be interested in WWE content as long as the fan base is there. So whilst there is a demand, whilst there is those platforms, it's hard to see a network ever returning. Daze, what is the masked man? What if it is several people, a mass stable that's attacking individuals? Could be several people that form a group, said Dean. Yep. I mean, it's hard to have a conversation about the masked man because the answer normally is, it could go that way. The only thing that you can say is that there's no word or rumor as to where it's going. You know as much as I know. And that is that it's believed that at WrestleMania it was going to be Seth against Braun. Now, Seth doesn't need to be a part of the Masked Man story. It could have been that Seth came back and went after Braun, but the Masked Man story still just continued. And actually, it had nothing to do with Seth. So it could be a completely new faction with several members. It could be someone from inside the group. It could be that Theory is working with them, or Adam Pearce is working with them, or Logan is working with them, or Heyman is actually working with them. Like it could be Grayson. It could be a number of different people. So there was a theory that was on my. I'd love to give credit. I get sent so much stuff that I can never remember who quite said what. But I had a theory sent through about that it could be Sammy, and that it's going to be a way of Sammy getting involved in a big story, and that it could be Sammy. I was like, that's interesting, because Sammy... Oh, here, James Wyman sent this over. He said, Dave's not sure if it'll happen, but what if the masked man is Sammy? It could lead to some big stories for him. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it could, couldn't it? Revealed to be... Sammy's a babyface. He's going after heels. It would put him on a collision course with the Vision. That would give him lots to get his teeth into. And you go, yeah. And then could he be working with Seth? Yeah. I mean, all I can say is the person believed to be under the mask is Grayson Waller. But as we keep saying, it doesn't have to be revealed to be Grayson Waller. So, is it a stable? Are they working with? It's a hard conversation to have, because I normally like to have conversations where I feel I can contribute. I feel like, wow, this is the rumor, or this is what's being said, or this is the belief, or this is the leading theory. But to be honest with you, they're doing a really good job with this Masked Man story, because there is no rumor, there is no chatter apart from just endless fan theory. The belief, the only one thing I can recall is when, was it High Spots said that the belief was that it was Grayson, and then they believed that it was going to be revealed to be Seth. And that was the belief internally. That's the only thing that has been said. I've not seen anything out of Fightful. I've not seen anything out of PW Insider. I don't think I've seen anything out of the Wrestling Observer. So just fumbling in the dark on this one, to be honest with you. I really don't know which way it could go. So all options are still on the table. I still think WWE should have made a network TV channel instead of an app. They had a TV channel, didn't they? 24/7. WWE 24/7. I don't know that was ever shown in the UK, though, but they did have a 24/7 channel that you basically tuned into, and then there was just constantly content that was airing. That's actually where a lot of the original shows for the network came from, because WWE made content for that, and so they made content for it. It aired, but obviously they had all the tapes. So things like, I want to say Legends House was not made for the network. It was made for the 24/7 channel. And things like Legends of the Round Table was also made for that 24/7 channel. But what was great is that when the network first started, not only could they put all the back catalogue on there of like old shows and territory stuff and Coliseum home videos, but they also had those kinds of shows that was made for the 24/7 channel that they could drop on there as well to give it like extra content. So, and obviously they would then, for those that weren't around, I mean, many of you were, and you'll remember that when the network first started, we would tune into something like WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, and they'd make an announcement as to what shows were coming. And we would find out some of the new shows that were going to be on the network. And it was quite exciting, to be honest with you, because we found out it was very similar to Unreal. So, you know, like how Unreal was announced and it was on Netflix, and it was like we were waiting for the new season and everyone was talking about it. It would be that way back in the day, but it would be things like the Edge and Christian show, which was on the network, and it was them having fun each week. And, you know, there was a segment on that show where it was, will they talk about? And they actually stood in front of this word thing, and they pressed the button and this spun round, and it would then show a word, and it would be like, will they speak about? And I think once it landed on TNA or something. Will they speak about TNA? And that doesn't mean anything now, but it would be like, imagine if Edge and Christian did that show now and the word AEW came up. Will they talk about AEW? And then they'd say, like, you know, a little bit about whatever they had landed on. And normally they were like controversial topics. Will they talk about this? Will they talk about that? Imagine if they did it now and it's like Vince. Will they talk about Vince McMahon? And things along those lines. So that was like a segment that was on their show, just to give you an idea of what they would do. And, you know, they would also recreate classic moments from the past. They had Shockmaster come in, and this time not fall over, but actually it go to plan. And so they redid what his debut should have been. It was good. It was fun, honestly. So they had shows like that. They had shows like Swerved, which was their kind of prank show where they did pranks. They had wrestlers pranking other wrestlers. I remember one where Paige and Kofi were sat in this restaurant, right? They were just grabbing a bite to eat. And there was a couple that were next to them. They had a little baby. And the baby, like, pooped themselves. And so they started to undo the nappy. And, you know, they were like, sorry. And they were undoing it. And the woman then sniffed it. And she's like, what's that? And then she tasted the poop. And you cut to Kofi and Kofi's reaction and Paige's reaction. And it got to the point where they were offering, like, that is so sweet. That is incredible. And they offered it to Paige, and they asked if Paige was in on it. She knew it was just chocolate spread. Kofi didn't. And there was like, that was like a prank that they pulled, and they did like a whole prank show thing. So yeah, I mean, honestly, the network was like, I got so much affection for it because not only was it a place where everything was in one place, and you only had to spend $9.99 a month, and you got the PLEs. I mean, God, think about where we are now. Certainly in America, you have to subscribe to ESPN, which is like $29.99, and that's only so you can watch the PLEs. Back in the day, it was $9.99, and you got all the back catalogue stuff, and you got those shows. Swerved, Edge and Christian. Do you remember Holy Foley, which was like a behind-the-scenes kind of reality show based on the Foley family? It had Noel, and it had Dewey, and it had Mick, and it just followed their lives. So we had that. It was crazy. And we would find out about new shows that were going to drop. And people would be like, oh, that looks good. Camp WWE, which was like a South Park type animated show, which was all like, the wrestlers at the time. And it was all like young versions of them at a camp. So you had like young Triple H and you had young John Cena and everything. And that was called Camp WWE. And so they'd show you a new show and you'd be like, oh, that looks interesting. You could do videos just based on those shows. You could do a whole sort of look back at the Edge and Christian show, a whole look back at Holy Foley, a whole look back at Camp WWE, because there'll be loads of people that never saw those. Those shows are like 10 years old now. 8 to 10 years old. But we didn't know how good we had it, honestly. We just didn't know. Benny said, do we think Ilya Gunther at Mania, or are they going to do Michael Cole retirement? Cole is still undefeated at WrestleMania. I don't think Cole is. I don't think they're going to retire Michael Cole. There's been no word about that. Just got teased that once, didn't they, where he threatened him, and I don't think it was anything more than that. I think Ilya Gunther is definitely a match we're going to get, but I don't know if now would be a bit too soon. But I suppose you could do it and have Gunther win and have Ilya look good. And then, of course, when you do it in the future, you know that they've already faced once and Ilya had lost. So, yeah, there might be some method to your madness there. I got to be honest, Ilya is the person that I've always thought Gunther was going to eventually lose to. So, Gunther is being built. He beats Goldberg. He beats John Cena. He beats AJ Styles. He's gonna, he's got momentum. He's a 2-time world champion. He's been the longest reigning intercontinental champion. Like, he's achieved a lot, Gunther has. He's achieved a lot. And they're building him. And clearly he's going to be a WWE champion at some point, right? And you don't retire John Cena and then you just follow that up by retiring AJ Styles and, just not capitalize on it. I mean, you absolutely will. And I think the biggest thing you can do is put the WWE Championship onto him. Now, I don't know when we do that. It might be SummerSlam, not sure. But really, there's not really another level to get to after that. I suppose you can say, well, yeah, you can win it twice. You can win it 3 times. You could win it 18 times, right? So there are other levels. But to be honest, in the short term, there's not another level. Like, if you're WWE champion, that's it. The only thing you can do is just keep the belt for as long as possible. If you do lose it, win it back so you're a 2-time champ, 3-time champ, 4-time champ. There's not really, I mean, you can make the argument, well, you could win the Crown Jewel Championship, but who gives a flip? I don't think anyone cares about that belt, right? Doesn't matter if you win it or not. So short term, just winning the WWE Championship really is the only thing left for him to do. And then try and, break records. But what are we building him for? We're building him so that he's a credible heel and he becomes a top star. But eventually he's going to lose to someone. And eventually all of this is to put someone over, right? Maybe my thoughts on that could change now that Ober's around and Trick's around, and maybe one of them stands a good chance of being that person that benefits. But before they got called up and before, they got their momentum in NXT, no doubt in my mind, we were building Gunther for Ilya, and that Ilya was going to be that person. Ilya in ring is incredible. One of the best in ring performers we've got. He can speak English. He's very easy to understand. There's no language barrier. And he is someone that I think is so passionate. He gives everything all the time that I think it's hard to not sort of root for him. And, you know, he did so well in developmental. And more importantly, the Ilya Gunther matches are real lost classics. And I'm going to say lost classics because I think when people look back at this generation, they'll talk Roman, they'll talk Bloodline, they'll talk Cody, they'll talk WrestleMania 40, they'll talk Triple H taking over from Vince. You know, there's so many big things that have happened that they'll talk about all of that. I don't know at what point anyone talks about Ilya versus Gunther from NXT UK. You know, I mean, it's so far down the conversation that I think it probably does qualify as being a lost classic, or maybe not a lost classic, but you get my point. Like, there's so much other stuff to talk about that I think as time goes by, it just won't get spoken about as much. But if you watched it, you know how amazing that match was and how amazing those matches were. They are special, and they are kind of, I think they made a big impression. I think that they were massive for both Ilya and Gunther because it just cemented that both of these need to be invested in. And actually from that moment, both had fantastic runs and continue to have fantastic runs. And they continue to prove that those matches, and that one in NXT UK in particular, they continue to prove that that was not a fluke, what they did. And you could go back to that and go, that is the moment where it is absolutely cemented that both of these have to be invested in. And both of these have to make it to the main roster. And both of these have to have good runs. You could go back and say that is the point where they have just literally removed any doubt that might have been in the room. So I do regard that as being like quite an important match. And obviously they would have rematches and show that that was not a fluke. And they continue to do that with other matches that they've had. And so for me, I've always sort of felt like Ilya is Gunther's great rival. And that if you're building up Gunther with Ilya also finding his way to the main roster, having a good United States Championship run, being used on TV every week, it feels to me like Ilya would be the one that you would turn to kind of slay this beast. But maybe that's changed now that Ober's around. Because maybe Ober is going to be that person. Maybe babyface Trick is going to be that person. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do with Gunther. He's still got to get a WWE Championship, which is easier said than done. Then he's going to have a run with it as well. So this is not going to be any time soon that the beast is going to get slain. But maybe it's Sammy. I mean, don't forget, Sammy did beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. So he has got a win at WrestleMania against Gunther. It was Sammy that brought that reign to an end. So it could be that Sammy is the one that brings Gunther down. So there's definitely options, but I think Ilya is in the conversation. So to go back to your original question, are we going to do Ilya Gunther this year? Well, with what I've just said in mind, I feel like that is one of the ultimate sort of end goals, if you will. That's kind of where I feel everything is leading to. So if we do it this year, which we can, I think that you'd have to have Gunther win. Gunther would have to win. Ilya would be disappointed. And then what that does is it sets up, you know, for the future that we run it back and, you know, obviously Ilya gets the win that time. So it can, they are both great rivals, and what a match that would be. You would be in for something truly, truly special, really, really special. Like, I really believe that would be 5 stars, 4.75 at the very least. I mean, that anything less than that would be a disappointment. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a match, but I would be willing to put that pressure onto that match because that's why you book it. And when we say something is special, you can't go, it'd be really special, it'd be 4 stars plus. I mean, That's not special, is it? And we see matches 4 stars plus on a kind of at least a few times a month. So if we're going to say something is truly special, it has to be around 5 stars. And I think if you're booking Gunther Elia, that is kind of what you're booking. You're booking something really special, and you're booking something that's, stands a chance of being 5 stars. Whether they actually do it or not, whether it gets there or not, perhaps it falls short and it's 475. I think it would get there. If you book that for Mania, and it's actually not a bad shout, because if you book that and you say to them, I'm looking for 5 stars, right? Go away, work on whatever you got to work on, go back, watch your old matches. I mean, Jesus Christ, just do the exact same match you did in NXT UK. That'd be absolutely fine, right? Then I think you'd be looking for something special. But I would imagine that Gunther would get the win. Big Time said if WWE would be wise to keep a presence on cable, because all of a sudden, if you get completely cut off, because there's long-time fans not watching Raw and they prefer traditional TV, maybe, I don't know, because traditional TV is declining all the time, isn't it? So I suppose it's one of those where I think the older viewers are very much still with TV. But, I mean, the young viewers that are coming through, I mean, they're on their smartphones. They're watching Rumble. They're watching Twitch. They're watching YouTube. They're watching TikTok. They just go wherever the content is. They don't have that connection to TV like the older generations do. And hence why we see TV numbers just falling all the time. So, I don't know. That's one that they'll have to look at the numbers and decide. I would not personally be tied to anything in particular. I would be looking at what are the offers on the table, what are the projected numbers that we're going to get, and you're just going to want to try and go where the best money is and where you think the best reach is going to be. If that is traditional TV, fine. If it isn't, I'm probably at the point where I wouldn't be worried about it. I'm probably at the point where, look at what they're doing on Netflix. I think the Raw numbers came through at 3-point-something million. And that was a gamble to take Raw off TV and go to Netflix. I don't think it's seen as being something that's not worked. I think it's, and there's no indication that Netflix is about to fall off a cliff. So I think they're very happy with that Netflix move for Raw. Whether Netflix are happy, we don't know at this stage. I'd imagine they're having constant communication. I'd imagine Nick Khan's constantly gauging the temperature, but with Netflix. But I don't know. It's a tricky one there, because I would have agreed with you, but I think the Netflix deal has changed my mind. And with TV numbers seemingly ever decreasing, although we all know about the ratings drama at the moment, I think you'd want to be in the room and look at what was on the table and maybe take it from there. Joseph said, Daze, Kendal is pretty much an NXT talent. When will she come off Evolve? I think she's being used to carry and promote Evolve. Yeah, I agree with you. And actually, we're kind of learning some stuff for the first time, because Evolve's been around for, about a year now. And this feels to me like the first wave of talent that's really come from Evolve and gone to NXT. You kind of Jackson, Drake, Kendal, Gray, Swipe Right, Vanity Project, Sean Legacy. That sort of wave of talent is like the first wave that's come from Evolve. So how long they keep them on Evolve and use them on NXT, how long they want to do that, I don't know. The only thing I would say is, if you can use talent that's learning as much as possible, like live events, NXT, Evolve, keep giving them matches, keep giving them promo time, all it's going to do is just speed up their development. This is the problem with a lack of live shows, is that without live events, without house shows, we are really struggling with people developing and evolving, because they've got to do it all on TV. And there are occasional house shows, and when they do a European tour or they build towards WrestleMania, they'll do some live events. But, LA Knight had the most matches last year. He had about 60 matches. You go back to the 80s, It's more like 150, 200. It's completely different now. And again, that's the average. 150 would be an average, whereas LA Knight 60 was the most. That was the most. Other people were doing about 40 matches a year. That's like 2 matches. What is that? It's like 40 matches a year. It's probably like 3-4 matches a month. About 3-4 matches a month. Which, if this is your job, like you are a wrestler, do wrestling 3-4 times a month is not that much. Again, you go back to what it was like back in the day, and there was a lot more. Don't forget, that's not consistent. They might do a tour where they're wrestling each day, so it could be in January because of the European tour they wrestled 10 times. But then in February, they'll wrestle, February, March, it might be once. So you might go this period where you don't really wrestle much and you just got to wait for that next tour. So, yeah, honestly, it's a bit of a problem. It's a real problem. How are people meant to learn, develop, evolve if they're going, months where they just wrestle once on TV and that's it? Obviously, you can train and do stuff behind the scenes, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same as like having weekly, regular, house shows where you wrestle like 2-3 times a week, every week. So, there's been this big conversation about, even Cody said about trying to bring back some house shows and just, do some. So all I'd say is where you've got Kendal and you've got all these people that are doing NXT and Evolve, it's not a bad thing. It's not like, oh my God, they're overworking them. No, absolutely not. It's a case of this is just going to be a big thumbs up, a big plus for their development. So I would say long may it continue, really. The only thing you got to balance is, are you preventing that next wave from coming through? If Kendall's going to stay champ for ages, when is the next champ going to come along and when's that next person going to get their opportunity? So that would be the concern. When does the next person get their shot? So yeah, it's hard. We're learning stuff all the time about it because we obviously have not had Evolve before, and we've not had to call people up before. So there's a lot that needs to be sort of worked out. There's a bit of a balance that needs to be found, but I think where you've got talent like Kendal, it's probably not a bad thing to have them competing on a fairly regular basis. Right, I was just struggling to find Evolve there, but I have found it. And I am really looking forward to tonight. We talk a lot about Evolve and is it worth watching? And, I think it's so much better than like NXT Level Up and 205 Live. This is its own brand and it lives just below NXT, and we can watch those stars of the future. I'm a big fan of Evolve. I'd be quite happy to wear some Evolve merch and all that stuff, and but they never seem to make any. But yeah, genuinely tonight, this is a show I'm really. This is the Evolve episode aimed at me. I love Swipe Right. I think they're a great tag team. Their match on NXT this week was a bit underwhelming for me because the action was great and they were doing some great stuff and things were going really well, and it just kept going and going and going and going. And when you see like near fall after near fall after near fall, it can go one or two ways. It can either keep like, oh my God, this is amazing. Wow. Now they're going for a fall. They haven't got it. Oh my God. And it can either grab you that way, or it can go a different way where you're like, okay, this has gone too long now. I'm out. Like, you've lost me. You've left me behind. And unfortunately, their match for me might be different for you, but for me, it went that way. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's no drama. They just need to get out a bit earlier. And if you know the match is going long, then maybe don't start that kind of final, lots of near falls. Maybe, do that a little bit later rather than doing it as early as what they did. Because there's only so long you can sort of stay at that, like, level, So for me, like, it just outstayed its welcome a little bit. But I've seen enough of that team to know they're a really great tag team. So, listen, they're in action again tonight. because we've got a big women's title match, I think they should get the right amount of time. So it should be get in there, do your work, look really solid, build it up, nice finishing sequences, couple of near falls, finally get the victory. Really solid match. That's what I'd be expecting from Swipe Right. Yeah, and I think we get that tonight. It's Goal. I mean, look, he's not like amazing in the ring. He is someone that I find probably more entertaining outside the ring than in the ring, but I always enjoy watching him because I'm really rooting for it to work. I'm really rooting for him to be a success. I don't know that he will, but he's got my support. I like him. I like his character. I think he's fun, and I think there's definitely something we can do with him moving forward. He gives you options. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He could be a little bit like a male Chelsea Green in that he's kind of very selfish, all about himself, loves himself, takes lots of losses in matches, but because he's so entertaining, the fans warm to him, you know? So there is a potential there for him to kind of go and be that. So again, how are we going to show that in the matches? How are we going to show that in the presentation? I'm watching out for that tonight. And then a big main event where we got Kendal against Carmen. Carmen can absolutely get that belt. She could absolutely be champion. I got all the time in the world for both of those women. I think Carmen, to me, just feels like there's been something missing. She comes out and does the sword stuff and it doesn't really connect with me. I know that is her gimmick, but you can't use the swords in a match. So I don't find it that impressive. I don't really care, but it is part of her gimmick. But I don't know. We need to see great matches out of her. I need to be impressed with her promos and her matches because her entrance doesn't massively do it for me. But that's her gimmick, isn't it? That's what she brings to the table. So, but this is why it's so important that she backs it up with her promos and with her matches. So whatever goes down, whoever wins, I hope it's a banger. And those two women can definitely provide a banger. Okay, we're about to get going. The file is up. It's February 11th. It says 2006, and I think that's an error. I don't think Evolve was around in 2006. But as someone that makes those kinds of mistakes on a very regular basis, this is real, recognizing real. Although I've never made those mistakes on a platform as big as Tubi. Actually, I've made them on a bigger platform. Thinking about it, I've made it on a bigger platform. I've made those mistakes on YouTube. So, respect to Evolve. It genuinely says 2006. Okay, let's get going, and we are underway. Right, it's 50 minutes 30 for this one. I'm excited. I'm really genuinely looking forward to this. As I said, a card that's just made for me, this one. Now, forever. Draco, shout out to you, my friends. Millennial said, I like its goal. Sadly, the gimmick feels like something I've already seen. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing how we move it forward and how we can give it a bit of originality. I think he provides a bit of colour in the sense of, you know, you watch the ID talent shouting at the PC talent and they're just going off on each other. And it's like, oh, I'm stronger than you and all that kind of stuff. To have its goal come in with his, kind of hairstyle, the shades, it's goal. Just puts a bit of a smile on my face. So I find myself warming to him. But let's see what he can do in the ring tonight. We've got Ren, we've got Kendal. Bouncing back between these two shows are the grind, but I love it, says Kendal. Yeah, she has got great kicks. Okay. Okay, so we've just set the scene, basically. That is a good point, though, actually, because they did announce that Succession is coming up, so I don't know. I mean, do we keep the belt on Kendal and so she can defend at Succession, or... Okay, Vanity Project coming out. We might just be getting straight to the action here. The graphic on screen says swipe right. It's really interesting because when they were on NXT yesterday, it did not say swipe right. They just announced it, and even their gear said Vanity Project. They're wearing swipe right gear. I don't know how old this recording is, because obviously they record episodes in batches. So this is not live. I don't mind the Vanity Project name. I don't mind the swipe right name. But I wasn't a big fan of the logo on the gear yesterday for swipe right. Or for Vanity Project. It said Vanity Project. I do like this team, though. I do like this team. Okay, here's Eli Knight, Mike Cunningham. Now, I don't even know if we've seen these two as a team before. I'll be honest, I don't know loads about either of these. Obviously, we know that Eli Knight is on NXT, and he picked up a victory. He's going to go to the final, taking on Elio LaFleur. Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirt. Blimey now. That was a fake wrestling promotion that was kind of based on the territories. Featured people like Gallows and Anderson and John Cena playing characters. That would be another good video, actually. What was Southpaw Regional Wrestling? It was just a series of videos. Tate Wilder in the VIP lounge. Okay, here we go. We're about to get underway. We've got Mike Cunningham starting us off with Ricky Smokes. Crowd are chanting swipe right. I'll tell you the other thing. If they have got rid of the swipe right name, you've got rid of the fans being able to shout swipe left and hand gestures and whatever, you know? So, I did... Yeah, I mean, you've got the Vanity Project thing. The V. I don't know what the bad one is. I don't know. There is one that's bad, isn't there? But I don't quite know. I know the middle finger is bad, but I don't know about the two-fingered one. I don't want to do it. I don't want to upset people. I said goal was bad. I thought I said goal was really bad, said Millennial. I would like Cartwheel to return, said Who Review. Right now, we've got against the ropes goes Cunningham over the other side. Shoulder tackle. Down goes Ricky. Cunningham against the other side. Round the back. Ricky over against the ropes. Leapfrog there by Cunningham. Oh, that was nice. Hip toss. Nice drop kick. Yeah, Cunningham looking good. That was a lovely drop kick and a lovely sell by Brad Baylor. Working on the arm. Tag being made. In comes Eli. Going up and stomps down on the arm. Coming in. Tag being made. Cunningham going up. Yeah, Ava just got mentioned on commentary. Ava just got mentioned, so it shows, like, how long ago this was recorded. Shot to the midsection there by Cunningham. Stomp there. That was lovely. Big splash there by Eli. Kick out. Okay. Millennial said, Cunningham, is that ideal, PC? I didn't know. I just had a look. It looks like he first started in 2024. He has worked for indie promotions, but obviously we're not dealing with loads of experience, what with him starting so recently. So maybe they got him ID, but even if they got him ID, we're not dealing with loads of experience. Roll through there. Tag being made. Cunningham's in. Charging over. Back elbow there by Cunningham. Clothesline. Chop coming in there by Ricky. Ricky against the ropes. Oh, man, I tell you, Mike Cunningham, he is being really impressive. I mean, he just did a back elbow there as Ricky was going against the ropes. He leaps in the air. Bah! Looked really nice. I mean, it would have been so easy to have just done that, but he really, committed to it. Yeah, good work there by Brad Baylor, trying to get the momentum back. Oh, gone to commercial break. Yeah, it's a good start, honestly, so far. Some of them are live with my friends. Oh, some I live with my friends. Keegan, I hope you're doing well, buds. Okay, we are at commercial break. It's weird how Evolve doesn't, as a GM said, Angel. Yeah. Used to have Stevie, didn't it? And then we had that guy, I forget his name. We had him for a moment. I wonder why we got rid of that. I thought having a GM or Prime Minister, as Stevie called herself, was quite a good thing to have, to be honest. If you want to know where we are, we're at 850, 852, 853, 854. That's where we are at the moment. 858, 59, 9. Okay, in comes Ricky with a spear. Tag being made. Brad Baylor is getting in. Oh, comes crashing down on Cunningham and shoulder up. Brad coming over, throwing in a shot, another shot there. Brad Baylor coming in with some energy. V's up. Oh, V's down by Tate Wilder. V's up is what was just yelled out. I wonder if that's going to be the catchphrase. V's up. Okay, we got a... Oh, look at that. Lovely. Why, yeah, referee, do your job, you idiot. Swipe right. Getting a bit of an advantage there. A bit of extra leverage. Referee didn't spot it. Got a lovely little stretch, but Cunningham takes him over. Cunningham. I like Cunningham selling. Cunningham trying to get over to Eli. He's going to have to leap over. No, rolls under. Tag mates. Eli's in. Nice springboard, drop kick, kip up. Yeah, great athleticism. Clothesline, down goes Ricky. Big boot. Brad Baylor goes over against the ropes. Eli explodes him. Oh, lovely DDT there by Eli Knight. Eli, springboard, moonsault, lands on both of Swipe Right. They both go down. 1, 2, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Champ on the outside watching on Jackson Drake. Oh, lovely driver. What a driver. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Ricky. Eli can't believe it. He thought he had that. Brad Baylor on the outside. Ricky smokes down. Mike Cunningham nowhere to be seen at the moment. Trying to go over, climbing up. Eli Knight up top, looking for a moonsault. Oh, couldn't stick the landing. Ricky had moved out the way. He got distracted with Brad Baylor. Tag being made. In comes Baylor. Eli Knight in all kinds of trouble. Drop kick. Lovely work. Lovely tag team work. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out by Eli Knight. Cunningham still down on the outsides. Some of the tag work that Swipe Right do together is proper tag team wrestling. They're a lovely tag team to watch because they're a bit of a throwback. They're a proper tag team. They're not just a couple of people that have been thrown together. They bump around, great selling. They've got a lot of like tag moves that they can do together. Lovely pace. Here's another example. Oh, Cunningham though. Cunningham takes Ricky Smokes to the outside. Kick out by Brad Baylor. Eli. Big knee. Cunningham on the outside is running round. Eli going to make the tag. Tag made. Cunningham's in. Big boot. Round the back. Looking for a German. Gets it. Oh. Like a famous. A 1, 2. Oh. Kick out. Okay, this match is, again, getting to that point where it's like, you've had a lot of close falls. You're really battling away. I'm still into it, but I don't want this match to be outstaying its welcome. Definitely feels like we've got to be at that finish soon. Big knee. Okay, are we approaching the finishing sequence now? This is where I would wrap it up. Picks him up. Against the ropes. They went for this before. Get it. This is where it should end. 2. Damn it. Cunningham makes the save. Damn it. Crowd is still with it. They're applauding along. Kind of. That is the problem when you record lots of episodes in one go, though. The crowd can get a little bit like burnt out, but it's been a good match. I do think that Swipe Right there is a pattern emerging where for me it just goes on too much. What are we looking at time wise? We're 14 minutes in. Kick to the midsection. Uppercut coming in there by Eli. Chop coming back there by Ricky. We cut over to the VIP lounge. Boot coming in by Eli. Goes up. Knee coming in. Baylor on the outsides. We're going to go for a big superplex. I don't know where Cunningham's gone. I mean, look at the crowd. Right now, we're looking for a big superplex. Cunningham's in. He's got Ricky on his shoulders. Eli's looking to put Ricky away. Well, that was a nice spot, wasn't it? 1, 2, and the pin's broken up. Daze, WWE have been dragging out matches as much as storylines. This isn't anything new, said Shining Wizards. To be honest, I sort of feel like when it comes to these kinds of matches that sometimes you can drag out a match and I'm not really into it. But I really like Swipe Right. It's a lovely spot. I'm excited for Succession 2, said Angel. That'll be coming up. Yep, they announced that last week. Okay, Cunningham collides into Ricky. Ricky goes to the outsides. Cunningham's got Brad's. Brad Baylor grabbing a hold of Eli Knight. Cunningham goes back out. Reverse there by Eli. A slice of... It was like a sliced bread, but apparently it's known as a slice of Knight. Knight going against the ropes. Over the top comes... takes down Cunningham. So Eli Knight went big. Tried to take down Swipe Right. Swipe Right moved out the way. Clothesline by Brad Baylor. In the ring goes Eli Knight. Tag being made. In comes Ricky. Ricky's climbing up. Stomp down. Double stomp by Ricky. 1, 2, 3, and it's we get there. We get there. Okay, let's get a poll. Vanity Project pick up the victory. So that was their first time teaming. Apparently, Eli Knight, Mike Cunningham. I think they're a great team. I think they're great individually as well. Yeah, that breakdown there was a bit of a problem for them when Eli landed on Mike Cunningham. Okay, we're going to hear from Swipe Right. They get the victory. We've been on a roll since last week, said Jackson. Okay. Oh. I don't mean to kill the vibe. What's he going to say? Oh. Cappuccino Jones, I do owe you. You will get your shot. Wow. Okay, so it's going to be Jackson Drake against Cappuccino Jones. Harlem Lewis is coming out. Oh. Okay, so Harlem Lewis has come out and gone, no, this ain't going down that way. Okay, double axe handle from behind. It's Brooks Jensen that's attacking. Brooks Jensen has got a knee brace on. Okay, Brooks Jensen going after Harlem Lewis. Big boot coming in. I tell you, they've done a good job with Brooks Jensen coming across like you know, his own man now. Brooks Jensen's coming across like a proper guy. I mean, before he was like a lost kid. Do you remember when it was like he was in that tag team with Briggs? Okay, here's Ariana Grace. Here's Nikita Lyons. Here's Mason, here's Layla. I've really missed part of this story. I don't know why they're having to be nice to them. Will you guys switch lockers with us? I'm not giving up my big cat locker. can't remember this. I genuinely cannot remember why they're trying to be nice. Okay, next week, Nikita Lyons, Ariana Grace against Layla Diggs, Mason Holiday. Okay. Daze, I didn't know you did streams on a Wednesday, said Johnny. Yeah, we do Evolve, bud. We've been doing it since it began. And we enjoy Evolve. And tonight is a night that I'm very much looking forward to. Swipe Right match definitely contributed, definitely delivered something. I find it so frustrating because they're such a good tag team. But they just keep finding a way of losing me. Keep finding a way of the match going on and on and on and on and on. I don't remember that being an issue when we first saw them. But it was a bit of a problem yesterday, and it was a problem again today. Not a massive problem, but just, you know, I want to sit here and go, man, they're so great. And they are. We just haven't quite found it yet. There was a brilliant match they had on NXT, though. Perhaps I have to go back and watch that. I can't even remember who it was against. I know it was when Evolve first started and we were quite excited by them, you know. Daze, I got a weird question. How many rings do WWE have? I don't know the exact number, but I know that there are several at the PC. They have them all set up at the same time. There's obviously Raw, SmackDown. They tend to have like a one backstage as well. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I mean, if you was going to put a number on it, it'd be 20 plus, 30 plus, maybe. It's going to be a pretty big number. Because you've got a lot of the PC. You got they've even got some in the warehouse. Okay, we are back. What number am I up to? I'm up to 2317. Okay, so looks like we got the PC team all fired up. Here comes Aaron Rourke. Okay, here's Aaron Rourke making his way down to the ring. Well, there's a bit of extra sparkle that they've added here, which I don't mind. So they've put like an effect on screen with all this sparkle around. Yeah, it's Garl about to make his way out. I don't think this match is going to go that long. So we're at 24:42 at the moment. Okay, so Aaron Rourke in the ring. Sparkle City, is that where he's from? Sparkle City. Sparkle City. Here we go. Here's my guy. Oh, yeah. It's go. He's got all these medals. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's having to go. Someone in the crowd. That's great. He should do that. He should go up to someone in the crowd and go, yeah. Let's go. Robert Stone was saying you should call him Daddy. Pete Rosebow's like, I don't want to call him Daddy. Tate Wilder, Trill London are in the VIP lounge. Okay, here we go then. We are underway. Let's end that poll so we don't all get confused. Shot coming in there by It's Goal. Swing and a miss. We got some shots coming in by Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke goes back in the corner. Forearm shot coming in by It's Goal. Rourke in the corner. Goal goes in. Nice backflip there by Rourke. Goal goes back. Rourke getting back up to his feet. Charging in. Driving his shoulder into the midsection. Rourke rolling back. Coming in. Bang. Look at that. It's Gal goes down. Big clubbing blow to the back. Shot to the midsection there by Rourke. Kicks coming in. Goal slumped in the corner as referee coming in, separating both fighters, both guys. Chop there by Aaron Rourke. Digging to the midsection. He's all over It's Goal. Absolutely murking him right now. He's really bringing some pace and intensity. It's Goal with a big shot back, though. Rourke goes down. And knee to the midsection. Elbow to the back of the head. Over against the ropes goes Rourke. Clothesline. Duck underneath over the other side. Picks him up. Spins him round. Goal goes down. Goal rolling to the outside. Rourke going over against the ropes. Goal on the outside. Down goes It's Goal. So right now, Aaron Rourke looking pretty good. Oh, little on the backside. He's slapping him around. Swing and a miss. Big forearm. On the back of It's Goal's trunks, it says mint condition. Oh, he gives him one back. Blammy now. Savage. In the ring goes Rourke. Forearm shot. Down goes It's Gal. Aaron Rourke. Posing away on the outside. Grabbing It's Gal. Chucking him back in the ring. Rourke getting in. I like that from Gal. Gal's like, oh. Trying to go over to the ropes. He's just trying to... it's been very quick from Aaron Rourke. It's kind of caught It's Gal off guard. He's trying to catch his breath for a second here. Against the ropes goes Rourke. Spinning him round. Oh, like a tombstone. No. Had him in a tombstone spot. Nice. Discus clothesline. Rourke goes down. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out. It's Gal might be finding a way back into this. It's Gal. He's got a great physique, hasn't he? Right now, his big boot coming in. When was the last time he had a bagel with cream cheese? Those don't exist in his life. It's Gal. Has got 0% body fat by the looks of it. Shots coming in by Aaron Rourke. Gal going back in the corner. Rourke with another big forearm shot coming in. There's a bit of blood on the back there of Aaron Rourke. Don't know how he's managed to cut himself there. He gets slammed down. Gal charging him. Big boot. That's nice. It's going to take more than that, surely. Shoulder up. Shining Wizard said WWE rings are 20 by 20. They're bigger than regulation. If the ropes are specifically made and tightened to a certain degree, that is different from a normal boxing or wrestling ring in the gym, said Shining Wizard. Kendal, hello. Can we talk about WWE advertising a movie called Psycho Killer, and that being Tommaso Ciampa's new wrestling name? Am I the only one that noticed? Said Kendal. What do you make of that, buds? Right now we've got Garl in the one corner. We've got Aaron charging him. Going up. Oh. Garl goes over, goes down. Aaron Rourke looking to maybe put him away. Charging it, bang, connects. 1, 2, kick out by Garl. I'm surprised how much time they're giving this one as well, to be honest. I'm surprised how you'd imagine that these two would go out there, just have a nice little match, but instead they're giving this plenty of time. It's Garl in the back elbow there by Aaron. Rourke gets caught by Garl. Garl gets him on the shoulders. Double knees, gutbuster to the midsection. 1, 2, kick out. I definitely think they could shave time off this match, and they definitely could have shaved time off the first match. I wonder if they could fit 4 matches in rather than 3. Garl, though, picking up Rourke. Puts him into the corner. Oh, yeah. Garl has got Rourke up on his shoulder. Rourke goes down into a powerbomb. Okay, could this be the beginning of the ends? That's a pretty big spot. Coming off the top, hitting a powerbomb. Rourke going up. He's perched over the rainbow. Surely 2, 3, and it does. So there we go. It is a win for Aaron Rourke. He wins with Over the Rainbow. Garl is defeated. He'll bounce back. He will bounce back. So a win for Aaron Rourke. That's going to give him a little bit of momentum. Big Daddy Red. Is that what they're calling it? Big Daddy Red. Shiny Wizard said it was a bit long, but it was okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was anything special, but it was perfectly acceptable. Okay, Chewy has gone over to the VIP area to have a word with Tate Wilder. Trill London. It's time someone stands up. Okay. Is this going to be a Succession, do we think? We're going to do like some PCID multi-person. Okay, main event still to come. Coming up next, Kendal Gray, Carmen Petrovic. We're at 34-34. So, oh, there's Tyra May Steele. Yeah, I'm here for Tyra May Steele. I will forever fly this flag. Okay, we got a Tyra May Steele vignette right now. I'm going to make it to the top of Evolve. So Tyra May Steele making it very clear she's going to be the Evolve Women's Champion in 2026. Right? Daze, I think when Punk and Rhodes left AEW, it was a big loss for that company, but not as big a loss as losing Wrestling Daze, says Tony. I'm sure you're doing fine. Equisition said, why the criticism about the WWE partnership with Saudi? The UFC is partners and their fans don't care, said Equisition. Can't speak for other promotions. Don't know what their fan base is thinking. But certainly it has faced a lot of criticism in the WWE fan base. Word Life Cena fan said, Daze, I went to Cox the other day to see what it would... Oh, CEX is that? To see what it would cost for a cable to have... No, I don't know what that is. To have cable to access USA Network, ESPN. They told me it'd be $150 a month. Yeah, it's a lot. And you lot in America get screwed with it as well. I mean, we're very fortunate over here where the vast majority is just on Netflix. So it is absolutely crazy the amount that wrestling fans have to spend in America. Okay, we're at 35.52 and we've got Wendy, Choo and Callie Armstrong. Maybe therapy could work for you. Oh, man, she just smacked her in the midsection there. Mate, Too Strong Armstrong don't play. She just absolutely walloped her in the midsection. So, not next week, but the week after, we've got the season finale. And then in 3 weeks' time, we start a brand new season. And we kick off with Succession. Succession 2, Wednesday, March 4th. So Jackson Drake takes on Cappuccino Jones on March 4th. So Jackson Drake, I'm guessing, is going to be champ up until that point. The season premiere, we've got Kendal Gray or Carmen versus someone. So that is going to get defended. The Women's Championship. Here's Carmen. Okay, main event time. Let's go. Okay, Carmen is making her way into the ring. Daze, hope you're doing good. TJF, hello, buds. Hope you're well. Shining Wizard said, how do the season things work? They don't. 1 week we say it's the end of the season. Next week we say it's the start of a season. That's it. I think it's an American thing, honestly. We don't really have ends and starts of seasons in the UK. We just have shows starting and ending all the time. This show will start, goes for 6 weeks, goes, something else starts. We don't do a big season premiere of I think a lot of new shows tend to start, is it September time or something? But yeah, I mean, wrestling never stops, never goes away, so it is strange. Okay, Kendal is getting in the ring. Steve said, I'm waiting for Triple H to have Finn Balor and Bayley serve drinks to everyone in these WrestleMania ads. Yeah, we did just get a WrestleMania ad. Okay, championship match. It's kind of crazy, actually, because I can tell that I'm at 39:09, 39:10. So that says to me this thing ends at 50 minutes. So by the time the actually bell rings, we're only going to have 10 minutes for this championship match, which is more than enough time. That's no problem. But I don't know. I feel like we gave probably more time to the tag match and we gave quite a bit of time to that middle match. But when it's coming to this main event, we're not treating it as a title match. We're just giving it, I don't know, the same amount of time. I do think the amount of time we've given the matches this week is very strange. Kendal getting her intro. Carmen just had her intro. We're at 39:55. And this thing about to get underway. Referee just going to hold up that championship. This is going to be so good. Always love when Kendal, she'll do it in this match, I'm sure, comes off the rope, switches direction. It's a spot that she likes to use, and it tends to feature in most of her matches. But even when she's coming off the rope, she never quite know where she's going to go. You don't know if she's going to go straight on, if she's just going to do a right-hand turn, or... Back goes Kendal. She is becoming that person. The wrestling world is talking about Kendal Gray, says Robert Stone. Legs get taken out away from under Kendal. Kendal takes the legs away from under Carmen. Again, down she goes. Turning her over. No. Okay. That's a good point. Carmen wants the spot that Kendal is in right now. Kendal locking up with Carmen, middle of the ring. Working on the arm. Oh, lovely way of getting out there by Carmen. That was very nice. Back elbow there by Carmen. Kendal, middle of the ring. Okay, nice. One. Shoulder up. TJF said, I might have to make an Evolve shirt as WWE keep putting out bad shirts. Okay, right now Carmen has got the arm of Kendal. Kendal trying to find a way back up to her feet. Nice roll through by... Oh, look at that. Kip up. Nice reversal. Fireman carry into a... Look at that. Working on the arm. Grabbing a hold. Grabbing an arm. Knee in the side of the head as well as Carmen is flailing around. Kendal very much in control at the moment. And she's... I like this. I like the slow pace. Working on a limb. She's trying to throw Carmen in the corner. Carmen moves out the way. Back elbow there by Kendal. Gets out the way. Nice to the outsides. Under the legs. This is the spot. Bang. Off the rope. Changes direction. Goes over the other sides. Nice. Drop kick. Going for the cover. 2. Kick out. There's just little sequences and little rhythms that you get used to when you watch someone a few times. And I'm sort of used to Kendal's moveset and where she likes to place things. Oh, that was lovely by Carmen. Driving Kendal's head face first into the mat. And I think we might be about to go commercial break. So, commercial break. We're at 43:15 right now. So, we got just over 6 minutes or so to go. Nice start to the match. Feeling out process. Grabbing a few holds. Couple of nice moves in there. Both trying to gain an advantage. Pace, kind of still in that first gear, but it'll build. I do like those matches, actually, that do have that change of pace. You do see matches that are just go, 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 go. I think the matches that are more satisfying are the ones that maybe start slow and build, or start fast and slow down and then pick back up at the end. Oh, love that spot. Love that spot. Nice crossbody. Both going for the crossbody in the middle of the ring. Both are down. Carmen and Kendal both going for crossbodies. Both colliding into each other. Both feeling the effects. Kendal going over to the one side. Carmen going over to the other side. The Evolve Women's Championship is on the line. Kendal trying to get up. Carmen trying to get up. They're both looking over at each other. The fans applauding away. Ren is on the outside offering her support. Bang. Kendal collides into Carmen. Carmen collides into Kendal. We got a big shot coming in. Big knee to the midsection. Carmen. This is lovely work. They're both trying to gain an advantage as they go over to the... Yeah, they do keep running across, trying to cut each other off. Okay, right now she's trying to get on a bit of a sharpshooter. Sharpshooter is almost in here by Carmen. She turns it over. She's got it. Sharpshooter is in there by Carmen. Kendal definitely feeling it. Kendal, middle of the ring. Okay, nice. She's right in the middle of the ring. She's nowhere near the ropes. She's trying to make her way over. Carmen has got this sharpshooter in. Ren on the outside trying to offer some encouragement. Yeah, she's walking her way over. She's getting dragged back to the middle though. Oh, that's in. And it's really satisfying. It's really in. Look at this. Kendal powering her way up, trying to make her way over again. She's just been dragged to the middle. It's probably just been put on a bit too early, but man, she has got to sell that now for the rest of this match because that was in and it was brutal. You are the champ, Ren says to Kendal. Lovely sharpshooter spot. Right now we've got Kendal over against the ropes. Carmen coming in, grabbing her. Going for the arm. She's trying to get the arm bar in. Nice defense there by Carmen, not allowing her to get it. She's blocking the arm bar. She's going after the wrist. Look, she's really like, come on. Locking that in would be a game changer, said Robert Stone. To kick out there by Kendal. Oh, nice. We needed a bit of a power move. Big power bomb. Kick out there by Carmen. Yeah, that was nice. Lots of like holds, submission holds, looking for the armbar. Sometimes you do need like a big boot, big power bomb, some sort of big power move. Just shifts the gear a little bit as right now we're kind of increasing the pace as well. She eats a big super kick there by Carmen into a DDT. 1, 2, kick out by Kendal. Kick out by Kendal. Kendal down. Carmen can't believe it. She managed to just deliver a super kick followed by a DDT. Yeah, good match. Nice. I like how it built. Kind of like builds and gets to a pinfall. Oh, no. I need to do a bit more. Carmen going over, grabbing Kendal. Trying to step through. She's going back for that sharpshooter, which is probably a mistake, actually. Yeah, she left it a bit too long from the pin. She goes to the outside. Are we going to get some... No, I did wonder if we were going to get Kendal. Maybe suicide dive in, but Carmen is right back in, right back up, climbing up. Right now we got Kendal going over, looking for a suplex. Okay, right now, Kendal getting back into it. Oh! Shades of Grey gets it. Wow. I was not convinced that Kendal was going to get the victory in this one. Do you know, I'm going to say that needed a little more time. I think that they wrestled a really great match, and I think we actually needed a few more close falls in there. I think that I was right in that match. It held me, it grabbed me, I was right there. I would have looked for a little bit more, actually. That's my only criticism. Yeah, it was good. It was high quality work. Love that powerbomb. I love the sharpshooter moment. This was quite nice, that DDT. I think she follows it with there's a super kick that's in there as well, but She's done it again. Tough challenge, that, Carmen Petrovic. Tough challenge. 4 months she's been champ. Here's PJ Vasa. Is this the next champ? Is this the next person that's going to get that bout? She absolutely could. That's interesting. Her shirt says, "Come get Choo. Get Choo issue." Come get Choo issue. I kind of like that update. Get Choo. Come get Choo issue. Instead of come get your issue. Come get Choo. Get Choo. I like that update, actually. It looks good on a shirt. PJ Vasa, well, that's the end of Evolve. PJ Vasa just came out with a shirt that said, "Come get Choo issue." And, yeah, I gotta be honest, I've not been a big fan of that catchphrase, but actually seeing it on a shirt and seeing "Get Choo," I was like, ooh, it's actually quite nice. Come get Choo issue. Maybe she's the next one. Perhaps it is going to be PJ Vasa. I thought Carmen stood a chance, honestly, but yeah, I wish it had just gone a little longer. That's all, that main event. Wayne said, "I wonder why those two are still on Evolve. I do get Kendal being new, but they're both capable of better matches than many on the main roster." They're still learning. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Tiffany should be an example as to why you don't rush. I mean, Tiffany for me is a great talent, you know, great athletic, all that, but I think she's also very limited in the, she's got a catchphrase, which is, "What time is it? It's Tiffy time." She has got, you know, a move set. She's got a prettiest moonsault. She can do a few other bits and bobs in there, but because she's not been around very long, she's someone that has, you know, impressed with whatever you've given her, and as a result, we've moved forward. We've got to the main roster, and I think we've hit the ceiling now. That's how I feel about her. I feel that, you know, rather than her staying in NXT, continuing to learn, continuing to add to her moveset, continuing to get different experiences, we moved very quickly with her because she kept, you know, doing really well. I mean, she's a great talent. I'm not down on Tiffany. I just think she hit her limit, and unfortunately, she hit her limit on the main roster with that title run, which is probably understandable. Again, it's not a criticism. But yeah, I mean, when you've got people like Kendal and you've got people that can put on really good matches in NXT, there is a feeling of, oh, let's move forward, let's keep moving forward. But I think it's okay to, you know, hold them back. I think what it comes down to for me is something we don't see. And I think what it comes down to is that at the PC, is their progress still doing that? Or has it started doing that? I think as long as it's doing that, I'd be really tempted to keep them. Because the more they can learn, the more they can, you know, get experience, the more that they can try stuff and maybe it doesn't work and, you know, add more to their arsenal. If they're at the PC and their knowledge and learning is still very steep, even if it goes like that, right? But they're still really learning and making progress. The truth is, when you get to the main roster, as we've said many times, there's just not enough opportunity to learn. On the main roster, you might do a promo backstage and that's it for 1 week. And you might not wrestle. And you might not do anything in front of the crowds. And then the next week, you might actually come down and you might do a promo, but it might be quite short. Like, your learning and your developing on the main roster is very slow and more limited. I think make hay whilst the sun is shining in NXT. Just keep learning. It's, you know, you can do live events, you can do Evolve, you can do NXT, you can just keep learning. You got the PC right there. You can go every day to the PC. You haven't got to travel around the world. You haven't got to travel around America. You know, every Wednesday the show is going to be in Florida at the PC. So you don't have to worry about any of those things. On the main roster, you got to travel. Not only around America, but sometimes Europe, sometimes Saudi, sometimes Australia. You know, you're really getting moved around. So I think the the chances of learning as intensely are greatly reduced. So I would be very careful with moving too quickly with talents, even though they're good and they're really shining. I think for me, the key indicator is behind the scenes at the PC. Is that knowledge still going like that? As soon as it gets to that level and they're just not progressing anymore, that's when you might be like, okay, it's time for you to go and get some new experiences. You've done everything you can do here. There's nothing more really that we can show you that we haven't shown you. You just need to kind of find your own way forward now. You've got the basics. You've got the raw ingredients. You need to go and have experiences. Because I think that everyone does reach that point. It's like the example I use is Johnny Gargano, right? Johnny Gargano was a fantastic wrestler in NXT, and he was ready to go up probably during the pandemic. I mean, if the pandemic didn't hit, Johnny might have got called up in 2020, 2021. He might have gone up at that point. But actually, we weren't really calling people up really at that time because it was very disruptive. And, it caused massive disruption. I think that meant that Johnny ended up staying in NXT probably longer than he needed to. Well, keeping him in NXT that amount of time, he wasn't learning like this all throughout. He might have gone like that at the start, but at some point it starts leveling off, You kind of have done everything you really can do, and really you just need to move on to pastures new. And I think as long as people are still learning and really progressing, I'd be really trying to keep them in NXT. I just really worry about that development when you're on the main roster. I just don't think the opportunities are there. So yeah, it's a really interesting conversation. It's a great conversation because I agree with you. We do have some people in developmental that are really shining, that are really, really good prospects. Some people that we can really get, and Kendal being right up there. JC Jane is a brilliant talent. Look at Sol Ruka. I mean, Sol Ruka can do things that many on the main roster can't do. And she might be at the point where, her improvement is doing this now, where it's really flatlining. And so maybe the time is right for her. But if it's still going like that, I'd be like really trying to keep them down there so that when they hit that main roster, they've kind of fulfilled their potential, if you will. Hannah said, sometimes I do wonder about WWE if they're back to playing chess and if they bought NWA. Imagine if they had that library plus another show for the stream, said Hannah. I haven't heard any word about them buying NWA. I don't quite know where NWA would fit into things because I don't even know what that library would be as well. I mean, the NWA library is not all the old territory stuff. I believe each territory owned their own library. So like WWE already owns certain territories. They've already got their footage. That footage was already on the network. So if you bought the NWA, to be honest, I don't think it's much more than the letters, a ring, and you might have some wrestlers under contract. But it would just be the current roster, and it would probably be a tape library. Might be a tape library that goes back to the 2000s. They work with TNA. You obviously wouldn't get that. When they broke away from TNA, it might be that, but it's going to be a lot of like championship wrestling from Hollywood. It's going to be that sort of like indie level stuff. It's going to be when Adam Pearce was a champion for them, or when they were doing Power and Nick Aldis was a champion. Still some value to that tape library, but you're not going to be getting all the 60s, 70s and 80s stuff because I believe each individual territory owned that footage. So I'm not sure as to what it is that NWA actually have the rights to. So it's again another interesting conversation. Where would that fit into the WWE landscape as well? It's not a big. It's a big name. The letters are big and obviously mean a lot to the history of wrestling. But I don't know what you would do with it. I mean, it's certainly not something that sits alongside Raw or SmackDown. It's kind of like, it's below TNA level, isn't it? I mean, really, talent that goes from there goes to TNA, goes to AEW. So it sort of sits below. It sits below that kind of TNA level. So you could probably have it and treat it as just a promotion, and any good talent that comes through maybe goes to NXT. Treat it a bit like we treat TNA. I don't know kind of where you would put it in the hierarchy, though. It's an interesting. I haven't heard that Billy Corgan's looking to sell. And I think if WWE were interested in buying it, you'd have to put a real case together of like, this is why we need it, because it will do this for us. And the letters are powerful, but I don't know that there's much value beyond that, to be honest. Don't know. That's an interesting one. Evolve, LFG, and Indies are developmental, says William. What is happening in NXT is we put a lot of time and effort into those stars. They become NXT fixtures. If we change what NXT is, it's not developmental, but you just keep people in it. So what, treat it more like a third brand? I think if you used to do that, for me, it would have to be, you're right, people don't get called up from it. It would have to be a brand where that's it. You're either there or you get moved to Raw or SmackDown. And when we do a draft, all three brands are treated kind of equally. I think the World Championship, the top championship would have to be a World Championship, because the top title on Raw and SmackDown are world titles, but the top title in NXT is not. So in order for it to be equal, that would have to be a change. And you're absolutely right. It would have to be a case that you don't get called up from it. Right now it is a feeder for Raw and SmackDown, and that's why for me this is definitely developmental. And there's always been that argument of, is it developmental? Is it a third brand? I mean, the truth is it's both, because it is a brand in its own right, and it is a third brand. So, I mean, it is that, but it's not equal to Raw and SmackDown, because we produce talent and then it progresses and it goes to Raw and SmackDown. Plus also its world title is not a world title. Its top belt is not a title. John Cena couldn't have won the NXT belt and won 17. It would have to have been either the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship. So that would be another little change that I believe we would have to make in order to make it feel equal to Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, but no word of them doing that, of course. No word of them doing that at all. Let's get a few more final thoughts before we run away. At least Death Riders won the other match, says Michael. A few AEW comments, and we read that one. Shouldn't there be rules to chat factions, says William. Yeah, we're not around tomorrow. That's for our members. I need to email Tommy, don't I? No WEP tomorrow. I am not here. I'm actually out. So, yeah, just so that everyone's on the same page with that. Okay. Hannah said it's amazing when Daze acknowledges William's thoughts. Well, it's very rare, because normally I can't read the comments. But it is definitely a red letter day when I do. So there we go. Right. Appreciate it. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Pretty fun show overall. Don't know if it quite reached the heights that I was hoping, considering I was really excited for this cards. I wouldn't say anything was bad. I wouldn't say anything here like really underwhelmed, but yeah, I think the big takeaway for me with this show is I would definitely take time out of that tag match. I would take a little bit of time out of the third match, and I would give that time to our main event, which to me felt too short. So I actually think the length of each match was a little bit off tonight. But other than that, I mean, I thought there was some really good stuff on the show. And yeah, continue to enjoy watching Evolve. And hopefully you do as well. Some big shows coming up, as we know, with Succession and all of that stuff. So yeah, awesome. Right, I am going to work on Unseen. And then I will be back on Friday. Of course, we'll be back with SmackDown, and we'll be doing all of that good stuff. So have a good evening. Appreciate people hanging with us, and I will see you again next time.